Good morning, how are you doing today? For today's video, I wanted to cover a couple of different topics. First of all, I'm going to be sharing with you my employee gratis that I've received for the Fall 2 and Fall 3 floor set. So the gratises that I've received in about a month and a half time. And then along with that, towards the end of the video, I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts on the brand new single launch fragrance for the holiday season called Platinum. If you're brand new to my channel, then welcome and thanks for stopping by. My name is Melissa and I work at a Bath & Body Works, and I have done so for about 7 years. So if Bath & Body Works interests you and if you want that insider scoop, then I highly encourage you to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future videos. So if you've never heard of Gratis before, essentially what it is in a nutshell is it is an employee perk at Bath & Body Works where the company will give the employees a sample or some free products. So that way we are able to sell it and give our personal testimony and be able to experience that new fragrance or the new product type. That way we are equipped with all the tools we need and we are educated on our product knowledge. The frequency of it is about once a month, but it lines up with whenever we have a brand new floor set. So for each season, we usually have about 3 floor sets. We had Fall 1 already, Fall 2, and we just finished Fall 3. And the Fall 3 floor set that just happened not too long ago is what's going to be taking us into the holiday season. So already we're starting to see Christmas products. So to kick off the Gratis, this is actually from the Fall 1 floor set Gratis, and I just forgot to include it in my last Gratis haul. But they gave me this little pocket back holder that is in the shape of a croc. It was from when Bath & Body Works did a collaboration with Crocs, and they gave all of the employees to wear this on their aprons. I found it was too chunky to wear on my apron, so I actually just took mine home and used my normal pocket back holder on my apron, but I feel like I need 3 more so I can put them on my cat, but they're kind of cute. I don't know, I'm not like a huge Crocs person, so jumping into the second Gratis of fall, what we ended up doing for the second fall floor set was the introduction of the Stranger Things collaboration that they're doing with Netflix. Right now it's currently 60% off in stores because we are kind of treating it as Halloween, and so we're kind of moving it out so that we can make room for holiday. But at the time, this is when we had first launched the Stranger Things stuff, and I know nothing about Stranger Things. I do not really watch movies or TV shows or Netflix, so I'm a little bit out of the loop other than what I've learned from little product knowledge posters and the little online learnings that they have for the employees in the back room. So on a personal level, the whole Stranger Things concept doesn't mean a whole lot to me, but either way, I can tell you a lot about the fragrance. This is the Demigorgon, and we had our choice of choosing one of the 3 hand soaps that they released as a part of their Stranger Things. It has notes of black orchid petals, spicy cedarwood, and dark patchouli. So based off the fragrance notes, it sounds pretty dark and musky, but that first note there suggests that there is some hints of floral. Ironically, when I smell it in the bottle, I find that it's a little bit cinnamony. Maybe it's that patchouli in there, but this is the most autumnal of the fragrances that I found. The other 2 are more like leather, crisp, cool, foggy air types of scents, which are not really my vibe. I tend to like more gourmands and sweet stuff, so that is why I chose this one over the other 2, but let me give it a sniff and kind of report back to you. Yeah, so it does have a little bit of a warm, powdery scent, kind of reminding me of Japanese cherry blossom a little bit. It's floral, but more of that deeper, saltier, kind of darker floral note. But then I get notes of the patchouli, which kind of brings in that spiced note, but that's kind of what I'm taking away from that. Also a part of my Fall 2 Gratis, this is when we released a bunch of new wallflower fragrances and home fragrances for fall. So they gave us a list of wallflower fragrances that we could choose from, and I selected the spiced pumpkin and patchouli. I like this one because it's very rich and autumnal, very harvesty, but it's a little bit more depthy than some of their other ones. Like Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin in the home fragrance has quite a bit of depth to it, and so it's kind of similar to that in that way, but this one's a little bit darker because of that patchouli. So this one specifically has notes of rich pumpkin, warm patchouli, and cinnamon sugar. Also, this was the highly anticipated return of the spray antibacterial hand sanitizers. So we used to have ones that I think they were 3-ounce bottles. We've done away with the pumps for now, and then at one point we had done away with these larger bottle of sprays. And so I know a lot of customers were asking me, where did they go? What happened to them? And so we now know that they were in the works of being rebranded, repackaged, maybe also some new prices, some new scents. So this is the return of the spray sanitizers. I selected the fragrant Cinnamon Caramel Swirl because you know me, I love my gourmands, I love autumnal and fall ones. This is also perfect for winter as well. Cinnamon Caramel Swirl actually often comes back in candles and soaps and stuff like that for Christmas time. So for that repackage, they are a smaller size. They are now 1 fluid ounce instead of the 3, but we do have a new price. It is $3.95 instead of, I think they were somewhere between $6.95, $7.95 in there for the sprays. I do really love this form of hand sanitizer. I find that they are so easy to use. They're a little bit less messy because it comes out in that mist. It's very strong of caramel, but I do get that little kick of cinnamon in there as well. So lovely. But what's nice about these two is if you ever find yourself in a compromised situation in public, you can also kind of use it on surfaces as well if you're feeling like you need a little sanitization moment. So I am appreciative for that reason that they brought back the form of the antibacterial sprays. And with this spray is the last of the Fall 2 Gratis. We were allowed to select from the Everyday Luxuries collection one of the fine fragrance mists. So the inspiration behind the Everyday Luxuries collection is that it's inspired by higher end perfume brands, but at an everyday lower Bath & Body Works price. And so I'm not very versed in my perfumes. I know there's a lot of people who are into fragrance all across the board. I tend to be more just specialized in Bath & Body Works specifically. And so this is a little bit out of my comfort zone. Even with the fragrance, I tend to not wear high-end fragrance. I like body splashes instead of perfumes and blends and stuff like that. So it's taking me a little bit longer than usual to warm up to this idea. I think also with this collection, just a little bit of background insight in my opinion, is that we are seeing Bath & Body Works lean into the idea of being trending on TikTok. We're seeing the marketing of Bath & Body Works targeting a slightly different demographic than perhaps it used to back in 2015, 2018, that kind of time. I had a hard time deciding which fragrance to choose because none of them really smelt the way I would like to smell in life when I sprayed them on my skin. But the one that I thought smelled the best to me was the Eau Cherry, and this one is supposed to be inspired by the Tom Ford perfume called Lost Cherry. This one has notes of black cherry, sheer magnolia, and tonka bean. Just spraying it right in the cap, of course I'm getting cherry instantly, but it's not like a sweet foodie cherry like we've seen in the past, like with Black Cherry Merlot and the Sweetheart Cherry. Those are more like edible cherries. This does smell like luxury. It smells expensive, like a pricier upper end experience. There are slight notes of powderiness, which could be the magnolia in there, but it's more of like a pretty sophisticated, well thought out blend of a cherry fragrance as opposed to being one-dimensional or an edible kind of cherry, which to me, I tend to like one-dimensional. I like to know exactly what it is I'm smelling. I don't mind smelling like a kid. I like things to be obvious and straightforward, while this one is a little more complex. And they're all complex. I think that's kind of the point of them. I think my biggest gripe about this collection is that they only come in the mists. And what I know of Bath & Body Works is that they're normally all about layering. So to not have lotions or shower gels in these fragrances for me is kind of a bummer because I like having that whole built-up shower routine. And what they did to kind of combat this, I think in their minds, is that they expanded their wellness collection and kept it kind of close by in the store. So that way when a customer does say, oh, do you have this scent in a lotion? We could say, no, we don't have that specific fragrance in lotion, but what we do have are these lotions over here in the wellness collection. And because those moisturizers are low on the fragrance and they're more about the efficacious what they do for your skin, the nourishment of your skin, they pair really well with all of these fragrances that are kind of main character energy, if that makes sense. So those are my insights, both my opinions about it as well as what I learned in the product knowledge behind the scenes at Bath & Body Works regarding the everyday luxuries. So for the Fall 3 floor set, as well as the Gratis, we are now seeing that all Bath & Body Works stores have laundry detergent and scent boosters being carried in store. Now these have been in White Barn stores and the larger Bath & Body Workses for a while now, so this is not necessarily something brand new to everybody. Also, these have been available online for quite some time now, but now it's available in stores for everyone. And so to celebrate and make sure that all of the employees have had an experience with the laundry detergents and scent boosters, we were allowed to select one of each, and in addition to those freebies, we were also given the perk to be able to buy any additional laundry products at $5 a piece. I didn't take advantage of the $5 sale, but what I did do is grab my freebies. So I grabbed the pineapple mango in both the laundry detergent as well as the scent boosters. So the laundry detergent, I actually have experienced it before this launch into stores. So last year in November during Black Friday, I purchased a buy 3 get 3 free of all of the holiday laundry products. So at that time they didn't have scent boosters, they just had the detergent. Either that or I just decided not to get boosters. So they were all detergents. I tried the Norwegian Pine, Vanilla Bean Noel, Winter Candy Apple, and Twisted Peppermint. And here was my feedback for those ones back then. They weren't worth the price point. I don't know if I still agree with that sentiment today. I'm going to have to find out once I do a load of laundry with this pineapple mango. Also, I'm hoping that pairing it with the scent boosters will really enhance that experience and hopefully make me change my mind on that. But when I experienced them back in the winter with those holiday fragrances, I just found that the amount of fragrance they gave off after washing the clothes just wasn't really anything to be excited about. It didn't smell bad. I really thought it was enjoyable in the moment of using it. Like you could really smell it as you're pouring the soap, and when the laundry is still wet, you could smell it on the clothes. But by the time they dried in the dryer, it wasn't really worth saying like I'm using Bath & Body Works fragrance. So for a fragrance specialty store, I was a little bit underwhelmed. This is actually the reason why I selected the pineapple mango, because I want to be hit in the face with fragrance when it comes to laundry. If I'm going to be getting Bath & Body Works, I want to notice that scent. So I found that when I smelled them all, pineapple mango was one of the strongest ones that was available. So I also like pineapple mango, and I think this would be great to use for a summertime. I'm also excited to see some new holiday scents coming up as well. Like I know in the back room I had seen snowflakes and cashmere come in. So we will be seeing more laundry products in holiday scents too. Oh, but that smells so good when you're just smelling it in the bottle. So I really have high hopes. I just took the lid off here, but here is what the scent boosters look like. It's pretty much just a slightly smaller bottle than the detergent. And I'm really excited to try this. I'll show you what the pellets look like. I have to say that just smelling it straight in the bottle of these guys, it's so strong. I just dropped one on the floor. Here is what they look like. It almost looks like little grains of chunky salt, but they are kind of more like wax pellets. Like when I squish them, I can squish them between my fingers if I try hard enough. As I'm smelling it just like this, it is very strong. Can't wait to give it a try. All right, it is time to talk about the new single launch fragrance called Platinum. For my last Gratis that we got here, I have an EDP, which is a concentrated perfume in this kind of travel size stick. This is going to be the main feature signature fragrance for this holiday 2024. So let's read some scent notes. So Platinum is described as having sparkling bergamot, silver blooms, and patchouli musk. So something I'm noticing with Bath & Body Works lately is they are doing lots of patchouli and lots of floral paired with musky, which ironically are my two, unfortunately, least favorite categories of scent notes. This is going to be a fragrance that is not a Melissa scent, but I'm hoping that this will please a lot of people out there. It's one of those ones that's going to be important to try on your skin when you're in store to see how it performs on you, because body chemistry is everything when it comes to these types of fragrances. As I open this, I'll kind of let you know what I've noticed in terms of the branding and the marketing for this fragrance is they're trying to kind of make it seem like a disco party. Like in the way that they describe the fragrance, they're kind of comparing it to like a pop song on the radio, and that it's exciting, that it's bold and loud. I know that there was a trending audio on Instagram and TikTok. They were saying things like very mindful, very demure, and they're making kind of a tongue-in-cheek joke saying that this is very not demure, it's very loud and bold. So I think that's kind of the marketing idea behind it. And as you can see with even just this little concentrated perfume, we've got some disco ball tiles going on here on the sides. So it's supposed to be very exciting and like a party. All right, so let's smell it on the paper and then on my skin. We'll see what we can detect going on in this fragrance. Okay, even just smelling it in the air, the strength and power is strong. It's not a subtle fragrance, and we already kind of learned that even just what I mentioned about the marketing and the branding. It's bold and it's very strong. So if you like stronger, longer lasting fragrances, I think this is going to be a good choice for you. On the paper, I feel like the notes don't necessarily do it justice. I feel like I'm smelling a lot of things, and silver blooms is not something that comes to mind when I smell that, because what are silver blooms? I'm not exactly sure. But it does have a shimmery kind of top note going on. That reminds me a lot of A Thousand Wishes or In the Stars, kind of that glimmery, glammy party top note, if you know what I mean. As we go a little bit deeper, I am getting more peppery notes, something that kind of reminds me a little bit of Kaleidoscope, or the same thing as If You Musk from the Everyday Luxuries. There's kind of that pink peppercorn kind of scent going on too. So peppery, sparkly. There is a little bit of sweetness, but definitely not a gourmand sweet. A little bit of like a fruity sweet. But yeah, it's surprisingly, for being a musk scent, it's top note heavy. When I smell it on the paper, I'll tell you exactly what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Avon magazines when you get the perfume sample in the sheets of paper of the magazine and you rub your wrist on it and it smells like fancy perfume mixed with magazine ink. Like, to me, that's what this fragrance smells like. Magazine ink included. Let's try a little on my wrist right over here. Yeah, on my skin, it just turns to musk a little bit. Earlier, I kind of likened it to like a men's cologne on my skin. I wouldn't go that far. I guess when I smell it, I'm just smelling like really rich, depthy peppercorn scent. Smelling it on my skin too, it's like a more clean version of A Thousand Wishes. A Thousand Wishes has a lot of gourmand notes, the amaretto cream, that kind of bring in like a sweet saturated scent. This has that saturated scent a little bit, but way more clean, probably because of the bergamot. I know whenever I smell bergamot, it reminds me of fresh, clean clothes. One last note on Platinum before I wrap this up. I will say I smelled the home fragrance in store, both in the candle, as well as we're burning the oils in the store right now, and they sent us Platinum oil. It smells exactly like A Thousand Wishes to me when we're burning those in-store oils, and I'm not sure why. In my opinion, they are very similar. If you were to hold up a candle of A Thousand Wishes and Platinum, I honestly would have a hard time telling them apart. I find that in the body care, they do have a lot of differences, so I wouldn't say that I would be confused as to which one is which if I were to smell them, but those home fragrances, there's something about it that it really sweetens up in the home fragrance.
2 hours later.
Hello, it's slightly in the future Melissa here, and I almost forgot. We got a 3-wick candle for Gratis as well, and I forgot to include it. I had put it up with all of my other candles that I want to burn, so I almost forgot, but I'm going to show you it now. This is called the Brown Sugar Coconut, and we were allowed to select one 3-wick candle from the Trailblazers Hispanic Heritage Collection. Here are the other fragrances that there were to choose from, and I chose Brown Sugar Coconut because it's the most cozy and autumnal. It's very sweet and comforting. It has creamy coconut, brown sugar glaze, and vanilla bean. And honestly, it smells very similar to this toffee candle here that I can't remember the name. Coconut Toffee Brittle, something like that. It was from holiday 2018. So yes, it's very similar, if not exactly identical to that candle up there. But either way, I will send you back to the other version of Melissa to exit out this video. All right, and with that wraps up my employee Gratis haul for the rest of the fall season, as well as my thoughts on the brand new fragrance Platinum. You'll have to let me know down in the comments below. Have you gotten a chance to use any of those new laundry products yet? And if so, tell me what you think down below. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.